Hello, family. I'm Marquez.
Hey, you guys, and I'm Denisha.
We all want the best for our children, right? Security, opportunities, and a future filled with endless possibilities.
That's right, but here's the question. What are you doing today to create that future? Imagine building a business that creates generational wealth, leaving a legacy that grows even when you're not working, showing your children what it means to dream big and take action.
That's right. With Planet Marketing, we offer you the opportunity to earn income while still being present with and for your family. We show you how to invest in their future while securing your own and teach them by example what financial freedom should look like.
And don't just tell your kids to dream big, show them how it's done.
That's right. Comment below or
you could just message us for a direct link to our presentation.
He's out there uplifting people, and you're just hating on him.
Sending people to college, created free schools, feeding the community.
It doesn't make any sense.
Gave away bikes. Listen, no, I won't hear it. I'm sorry.
I can't go with y'all on
wherever you are. If you need to hear this, don't let nobody try to deter you from your dreams. Don't let nobody try to deter you from your mission, whatever else you got going on in your life. And again, make sure you help build those up who will help build you up, and y'all eat and break bread together.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. It's the third degree coming through swiftly. Yeah. Microphone check 1 2. I thought I told you. I thought nobody else can control you. They can't control what it says or comes out of my mind. I told them I'm the illest of all time. Kill anybody with one line. They in the street, but we heard they dropping dimes. I don't really pay them no attention because I'm too broke. But barely get them laughing at them because they get choked. Focus, you're about to lose your focus. If you don't know, you can speak there's the locust. No, that's not me, but I'm ferocious and when it comes to sticking around, I'm definitely quite delicious. If you didn't know who that know I be, like I said, literally the third degree. I've been doing it for quite some time. Like I said, dog, I'm just spitting it from top of the mind. And got my legs crossed like a boss. And don't know I would never get lost. Come and try to stir my salt, kinda like a holocaust. You would never singing what I got all doves tossed. It's that West Coastin'. Anybody that be coming out for me, bro, there's really no question. West got the lesson, learn for today. Like I said, about to go ahead and do the play. No, I'm about to turn it around. We burn it to the ground. Anybody that be left trying to hate and turn us down. We don't pay them haters, no, never mind. Like I said, we can go and do it one more time. Yeah. What's good? What's good? What's good? How you doing?
What's the deal, my brother?
Man, we back here for the afterparty.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's going on, my beautiful people? What's happening there?
Man. Hey, so just for those, we are here because we had a good show last night. It was fun. It's always good when you're talking like sports, saying, and just kind of, we had some folks that kind of, they're stuck in their ways, saying about this whole LeBron-ish, and it kind of went overboard. We didn't get to talk about everything we wanted to talk about. We still had other topics. And, I didn't want to wait another 2 weeks to talk about what we were talking about because we were so prepared and lined up for it. We had to come give you an after party. We ain't had one in a couple of months. So here we are live in effect,
Yeah, we felt like we cheated the people, man. You know what I'm saying? So we back at it one more again. You did.
More again.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Melvin for being the fluffer that he was and the
shit.
the LeBron apologist, saying like, saying at the end of the day, like I said, LeBron
we not doing this tonight. You know what I'm saying? we not doing this shit today. I promise you that.
Man, LeBron is dope. We're not taking nothing away from LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he didn't get it done. And that's that.
And he's not Jordan.
That part.
He's greatest of y'all time, not our time.
Word. Time. Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Wilt.
All right, man. We got Thomas. Look, they got us yesterday, man. We ain't finna do no 2-hour recap. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta backtrack a little bit because this shit mark face said that I ain't never played no sports. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually played basketball, football, soccer. What else? I did a little bit of track. You know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, I was a forward. I played forward in basketball. Okay,
that's what's up.
What about you, Quez? You do any sports?
Man, I did them all. You know what I'm saying? I'm most prolific in track and field. You know what I mean? Went to the Junior Olympics twice. Got all kind of gold medals and things of the such. I just was a knucklehead, you know what I mean, and didn't live up to my full potential. So I had to go to the school where there wasn't no sports. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we got out early, and people had their children there, and I went to that school. So
gotcha.
You know what I mean? I screwed the pooch on that one. I had the potential to be great. And I let my environment consume me, man, and made a whole lot of bad decisions. And, I'm picking up for it now. Better late than never. So, yeah, but I play all sports, man. I love basketball. I love to play basketball, not necessarily watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a basketball player. And I love to watch football.
Right.
I played football for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't like getting hit. You know what I'm saying? So I got up out of there.
Man. I played before I got to El Camino, I was on freshman and I did a little bit of JV. I did both in my freshman year. And so I played, they had me at the linebacker position, go figure. I guess they figured because I was young and angry and I went to hit people. You know what I'm saying? They just say, hey, your main goal is to hit anybody with the ball. First, go after the quarterback. You can't get him. Whoever got that ball, get him.
There you go. That is the name of the game. That's why I got up out of there because they kept trying to give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? No thanks. I don't want
it. I feel it.
But good stuff though, man. You know what I'm saying? I think most normal children from our era played some type of sport. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't, then you were probably in the library or something, doing something else. But a majority of us played some sport or did some type of physical activity because it was, this generation, they just get to skip PE and they don't dress out and all that. We didn't have them options back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get your ass up out here, run these laps. You know what I'm saying? Right. We got this physical fitness test. You participating or you're gonna fail.
Right, man. Shit. Even in PE, we had to do. I did what was it, weight training? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we did weight training. Like I said, when I got to El Camino, I tried out for the basketball team. I psyched my own self out sophomore year, and I tried again for junior, and I just didn't make it. So by that time, I was already just heavily into music. So I was choir, you know what I'm saying? Choir and rap and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? They're working.
Yeah, good deal, man. I wish I would have took after y'all and stayed where I was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just saying.
Right, man. We here now, though. We only great on Friday.
That's it, man. But yeah, let me change that. I don't wish that. I just know that at the end of it all, it put me in an environment to talk to people who are struggling with those things. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because I can talk it because I lived it, and I can help people who's struggling to get through it. So if that was my purpose and it was in alignment with the Most High, man, I give them that.
Right.
You know.
Hey, I feel it. Shout out to Rob. He said,
hey, Rob, don't come here with that bullshit, man.
I sent him the link. It's the after party. You know what I'm saying? We are here. We're live and direct. Matter of fact, you got my apple juice going. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that one.
Where's Jess at? You know what I'm saying?
She's at a party.
No, she done dipped on you. You know what I'm saying?
She might be back in time, but she's at a party. So I'm like, hey, I'm about to have a party too.
Hell no.
And you remember in Centers, the old man, remember when he cracked open that beer? He was like,
oh. What'd you say this was?
Made it seem like it was the best tasting beer ever, you know what I mean?
What'd you say this was? This was some beer. I like some corn liquor. I like some corn liquor, but you say I can have as much of this as I want?
As I won't. All right, y'all.
Shout out Delroy Lindo, man.
Shout out Delroy Lindo. So we're gonna run it back with the ratchet news. This is ratchet news from yesterday. So go ahead and sit back and enjoy. If there's anything that you see, go ahead and hit that link and just let us know.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy 30 Green. We're back with more ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go. Teacher jailed for wrench attack fueled by love triangle jealousy. That's kind of crazy, man. What type of triangle you talking about? But moving on. Birdman says Master P ruined Cash Money's deal with Priority Records. You trying to call P a hater or something? Yeah, I don't know. There's more to be determined. Moving on. Scientists have discovered a perfectly preserved dinosaur embryo inside a fossilized egg. That's crazy. And I can't wait to see. I really want to see the pictures of that. But we shall see. Moving on. A federal judge rules Cassie assault video admissible in Diddy trial. This is interesting because I think the trial actually starts this month, so we shall keep our eyes tuned in, and we shall see. Because also in Diddy rejects plea deal as trial moves forward, as judge sets a jury selection timeline. So this is, I think, an AI picture of him, but the court depicted drawing of him has him looking kind of just like this. It's crazy. This is what he looks like. Hey, but we shall see. Moving on. Outkast have been officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Salute, because they're one of my favorite groups, right next to Wu-Tang and WA. And, oh man, who else? Mobb Deep, I would say. No, in Dogtown. Hey, but, much deserved. Much deserved. Congratulations. Moving on. Yo, man, these Kanye West memes are getting out of hand. We got to stop. Maybe he should not be discussing any more of his personal business with us. Moving on. BUK reunited for a performance at the Millennium Tour 2025 finale in Los Angeles. Let's hope they can keep it together, right? And get this money. Moving on. Japan has developed plastic that disappears within hours in seawater and boosts soil health. But Donald Trump's probably gonna figure out a way how to tariff it, right? Man, crazy. Moving on. Speaking of dumb, Canada, you're welcome. Trump offers your freedom, no taxes, and absolutely no clue. Crazy, right? Moving on. $300K spills from Brink's truck in Chicago, sparking a rush of 100 people to grab the cash. I hope one of the 100 people is my family out in Chicago. Chi-Town, stand up, get that cash. Moving on. Mary J. Blige sued for $5 million by Misa Hilton and rapper Vado over alleged career sabotage. Crazy because her and Misa were friends, so we shall keep you tuned into this and we shall see how it unfolds. Moving on. Snoop Dogg's biopic is heading to the big screen with Universal. Hey, can't wait to see that. Hopefully they do a better job than All Eyes on Me. Matter of fact, maybe they can get this dude. I think Ryan Coogler, straight from the Bay, should probably get a whole new Pac movie, a whole new Pac biopic, because the last one wasn't really all that good. And I think he would do a good, seeing this how Pac got ties to the Bay and Ryan Coogler from the Bay. So let's make it happen. Just putting it out there in the universe. Moving on. Kanye West tried to set up wild sexual encounter with wife Bianca Sensory with the male adult star Drat. This dude is really, really crazy and off his rocker, right? Moving on. Trump administration begins Black History Museum purge with Black excellence artifact removals. Crazy, man. I told you he was coming after y'all. I didn't want to hear me. But moving on. Did you know that Michael Jackson was behind Sonic the Hedgehog 3 soundtrack? Stuff we did not know until later, right? Moving on. Brian McKnight sues Jaguar Wright for defamation over explosive abuse and prostitution claims. Maybe he should be suing himself for being a bad father to them kids. my 3 cents, but hey, moving on. Jack in the Box closing up 200 underperforming locations. Man, you say goodbye to those 99-cent tacos that used to come in clutch after the club, right? Moving on. The NFL fines $250K to defensive coach coordinator Jeff Ulbrich over $100K over Shedeur Sanders prank call. Man, that's crazy, right? We should talk about this too. Moving on. Warner Brothers defends Chris Brown docuseries citing public record of Rihanna assault conviction and Karrueche filing restraining order. That's crazy. Why they keep bringing up this man's past, man? He's obviously learned from it, moved on. Let him live, man. But we shall see what they do with this. Moving on. They're saying prepare for a pandemic now as a new virus spreads to all 50 states in the U.S. We shall see, man. We just keep getting hit by these viruses, right? Moving on. Krispy Kremes unleashes a cheesecake. Knowing why they do this to me? I just got back into the gym, man. Where the Krispy Kreme at? I'm gone. Moving on. Jasmine Crockett calls out the administration, saying we have a white supremacist that's sitting in the White House, and he is backed up by other white supremacists. Quote by Jasmine Crockett. Protect this girl at all costs. All right, moving on. Fat Joe says he's being extorted for $20 million by his ex-hype man. Crazy, man. We should keep you keep you posted. Moving on. Paul Pierce says NBA players date white women because they hold themselves accountable and apologize more. He is about to get attacked and put into a wheelchair for real by black women all across the world. But moving on. Pacers front office bans Holly's dad from games for the foreseeable future, as they should, because if I was to be honest, I would have packed the old boy out. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's why I'm not in the NBA, because if he would have came up to me, he would have got packed out. Dad would have been out for the count. Just me, my thoughts, though. Moving on. Nick Cannon called out by Alyssa Scott for allegedly not seeing her daughter in over a month following a testicle insurance joke. Hey, but you got like 12,000 kids. Girl, cut him some slack. He can't see all of them all at once. You know what to do when you signed up for it, right? Moving on. 9 arrested for selling over 200 propane tanks in San Bernardino County. Only in San Bernardino, right? What they about to do with that? Moving on. Road rage incident takes a wild turn. Woman caught doing the unthinkable on a car hood. Essentially, the woman pooped on a car hood during the road rage incident, and she'd been arrested, and she was smiling about it. People are getting crazy. Moving on. Mother speaks out after whites-only, color-only signs found at Georgia Elementary School. More of this stuff is starting to pop up more and more these days, right? Coincidence? I don't think so. Moving on. It's being said that Houston, Texas is one of the unhappiest cities in America, according to new Wallet Hub report. I don't know why. Pretty much, I don't know. Moving on. Last but not least, Sinners is heading back to 700 IMAX from May 15th to 21st due to popular demand. As it should, it has grossed and made its budget. So salute to Ryan Coogler and the whole staff. That's all I got. Pete. Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, Rob? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on? Just want to join you guys and be a part of Cool Group. Trying to get set up.
Hey, something's up. I think turn down your car phone or your car volume or something.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you just mad loud.
Okay. I think you gotta turn me down, bro.
No, that's a little better. We'll take
it. All right, mic check.
My Hebrew brother, how you been?
Oh, good, man. I'm a little. I tried so hard to join the chat yesterday for that debate. that hurt my feelings there.
Hey, Rob, you gonna have to take us off the Bluetooth. It has a lot of feedback and it's kind of loud. Oh shit! I didn't say leave. Oh, there you go.
No, is that better?
Yeah, that's definitely better. Yes, sir.
Cool.
All right. So just real quick. So we got the link in the comment section on Facebook. If you're coming on, if you're using your phone, it's always best to use your headphones. It's always best to use the headphones because the headphones and the camera work. It's synonymous as a microphone. It picks up everything that you do. It's going to give you big, good quality feedback, and we don't want you too loud, too soft into the show. Also, make sure that you're near some good Wi-Fi. There's no noises in the back. Make sure there's no eating. Again, this is the after party, but we still got to respectfully agree to disagree. Make sure we keep things respectful. Also, too, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you share this out with your people. If you're on YouTube, share it. Like, share, subscribe, and notification. Other words, just have a good time. But yeah, man, we wanted to try to get you on too, man. You know, it was you was in the comments heavy.
Yes. I'm just, I was so offended and appalled that you put LeBron over Michael Jordan. Like, what?
Not me.
I was, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't understand. As much as me personally, I don't want to stay on the topic like you guys did for the whole show yesterday, but
yeah, we were trying not to today too.
we was talking about playing in Michael Jordan's era, right?
Yeah,
we're talking about LeBron, the flop master. Like he's not hanging in that era, man. That there were some real ballers in that era. Like it got real physical. And Jordan took everything, man. I'm talking about, my whole point is, let me know when Michael Jordan leaves the finals because he had cramps. Like LeBron tapped out on that. Like his water broke. That's what I said.
He had to carry five dudes had to carry him off the court.
yeah, man. Like to have that megastar team in Miami and to lose to Dallas, man. Yeah, you don't see Jordan doing that. You don't see him doing it in the final series.
Well, yeah, Jordan's never lost the finals. And, you know, for those that keep moving the goalposts, like Quez likes to say, and they keep trying to negate, the main focus for any franchise is a championship. If you're an NBA player playing in the NBA, your goal should be to obtain a championship, to be called a champion. Yeah. You know, if you're not in it to win a champion, then what the hell are you in it for?
I mean, obviously, they're all in it to win championships. But like I said, if we're talking about championship rings, then it's not Michael Jordan, it's not the GOAT, if that's the case. Now, Michael Jordan only made it to the playoffs out of his 15 years. What was it? 8 times? Is that the number? I think that's the number. So, Michael Jordan, like I said, Michael Jordan was great. And he was great for his era. But there comes a time, and there will come a time when somebody comes along that's better than LeBron James. That's just life. You're not the GOAT forever. He's great, can I ask you something? Always be reverenced and feared. But even after the show, we had because I told them that whenever we talk about LeBron James, we go LeBron versus Michael Jordan. Okay, yeah. But what about Kobe Bryant? Oh yeah, I said one person next to one person, and LeBron's stats beat both Kobe's individually and Michael Jordan's individually. Now, we're talking about rings.
It depends on what stats you. Hey, adoration.
It was all the stats. It was all the stats.
No, not all of them. Not all of them.
Again,
because we already talked about he had the most playoff losses, right?
Yeah, but he had the most playoffs. He made it to the playoffs the most.
No, but you're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm not.
If the stats is wins and losses.
Listen,
he has the most losses in the playoffs
because he has the most. It's like this. If
Okay.
I said, wait, Quez, wait.
Okay,
It's like this. If I said I have more crackers than you, you're like, well, you have more crackers that you lost. This man played in the playoffs more than anyone else. Of course, he has the most playoff losses. He also has the most playoff wins.
Quez. You can't say, of course. No, he don't.
No, he does.
Listen,
he was in the
all
playoffs.
All right, adoration. Quick stat, because we got to move on from this.
Okay.
All right. So, NBA Finals wise, Jordan's been 8 times, right?
No,
he's won 6 of it.
Yeah, no, I think Quez is right.
No, he hasn't been to the finals 8 times. He's been to the playoffs 8 times.
Yes.
But out of those 8, he's won 6 rings.
Exactly. But he hasn't been the other, 7 times.
It doesn't matter. LeBron didn't go every season. You can't use that as a fallacy.
18 times LeBron was in the playoffs.
And how many rings does he have?
He has 4 rings.
Out of 18 tries.
See, that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying.
And on top of that, you got to understand that LeBron came in out of the high school. Jordan did college. Good.
He was that good. Who else was that good? I'll wait. Who else was that good?
Kobe. Kobe came out of high school.
Okay, ready? Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett.
No, wait. Hear me out. Is Kevin Garnett the GOAT?
No.
And this is what I mean. Here's what I mean, right? No. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. When it comes to LeBron James, you have to grab a roster of players to compare to his different things.
No, we don't. We just grabbed Jordan. We just grabbed Jordan. Y'all keep trying to move the goalposts.
You can you can find one area where he's like, oh, he has more losses. Of course he does, because he literally was in the playoffs more, but he has more playoff losses. You can't line up all Jordan stats next to LeBron's. You can only find those very small details.
I can.
But if you look at this, we did that.
Let's just line up the rings then, adoration.
And LeBron knocked both y'all dudes out of the water. And don't act like that. Do it again.
I like how you say water.
Pulled up the stats last night, right? Listen, we did it last night when we said who had the most game winners, right? And we pulled it up, and what happened?
Pull it up. That's what I'm saying.
Here goes total playoff games and records. Here we go. NBA Finals record 6-0. LeBron James 3-6. I don't think that's right. He has 4, right?
No, he got one with Miami. He got one with Cleveland.
And he got one in the bubble.
No, he got 2 in Miami, 1 in Cleveland, 1 with the Lakers.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not counting the bubble. I told you, nobody count that shit.
The bubble, dog.
No. Yeah, guys, listen. Y'all
only haters would say
they're counting.
I know you're a Laker fan and all, but I don't think anyone counts the bubble, dog. I don't even think Laker fans really count the bubble, dude.
But no, okay. So we saying 4 and 6. Even still, roll back up to the top though. Third, go back up. So look, no, go back to the stats. That's what we want to see.
I was getting to some more stats, but yeah.
Yeah, points per game, right?
Okay.
Rebounds per game, of course. LeBron's taller. Assists per game.
Here we go. LeBron's taller. Jordan he's tall.
But he's
Jordan was 6'6", LeBron 6'9".
He plays. They play a different position, right? LeBron can play all positions, right?
Yes, he does. That's why
okay. So he's supposed to have more rebounds because he plays all the positions, unless it's the fourth quarter and he has to play a center.
Here's the point of the matter. LeBron's stat. Let's say Jordan wins in the first stat. Hold up, third.
I was going back.
Okay.
Going to something else. Player efficiency rating.
This is one thing that I said yesterday. I'm
player efficiency rating. But LeBron's
box plus minus. Box.
When Michael Jordan retired from the NBA, all the other teams were like, "We can breathe." They're not going to be like that with LeBron.
What are you talking about?
That's
nobody's worried about LeBron. Nobody.
Yeah, no one's worried about.
Everybody's so worried about LeBron. Y'all talk about him day and night.
Y'all talk about him day and night
because your teams can't win.
They are winning.
They are winning. That's the point.
Not most of the time.
Golden State is winning. Minnesota's winning. Everybody's winning with LeBron there. Nobody gives a shit.
Guys. And that's the thing, though. The numbers are right in front of your face. No.
She was like, "Oh, that's right. They are winning." Oh,
right.
My sister.
They exited out of the playoffs in the first round. So yeah, I mean, Anthony Edwards literally said, "This is your king." He said he was going to dog walk LeBron, and he did.
Yeah, but that's my thing, though. It's not like he's going to win every time. Jordan didn't even make the playoffs. Out of his 15 times, he only made 8 times. So what are you talking about? So when Jordan didn't win,
Jordan's kryptonite was like the bullies of Detroit, and they were just like physically beating everybody up.
What his kryptonite
Can
was?
you imagine if LeBron played against that team?
He would not listen. If LeBron played in their era at LeBron's height and size, he would knock these people off the court. Little skinny Jordan, respectfully.
No, little skinny Jordan was taking on those teams by himself.
Not by himself, with his
team.
when
he took on Detroit and got knocked out, he was taking them all by himself. Oh, except for
LeBron would knock him out too.
When Scottie Pippen had like the major migraine.
If it was still that game, he would knock his little skinny tail out too.
Yeah, but when they got tough, look who knocked out Detroit. Chicago. They
so what? That's what I'm saying, though.
It's not like he changed cities and tried to make a super team to come back or anything. No.
When it comes to LeBron James losing, he had his word. When it comes to Michael Jordan, it was just hard. That's what I'm saying. Look at the stat for stat. If you count up, okay, you're better in this area, you're better in this area, and we just count every area as 1 point. LeBron James, as he does physically, stands over Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
No, see, you're taking over the intangible of. Like Michael Jordan is one of the GOATs of all time, like the greatest of all time. And I mean, like he has that aura that you just don't have in LeBron.
But that's the thing, though.
Y'all look at Michael Jordan and go, "Oh my God!"
Because you can't.
When they have a bad day, they can look at MJ and go, "We're going to win."
Mentality and an aura and a presence. Because
Rondo
you can't look at reality.
I love you, but you are a LeBron apologist. Like I said, man, he is good.
No,
he was good.
Two people have that, and that's Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. Everybody.
Tom Brady.
Period.
I used to love Tom Brady growing up, but when I found out that man was a cheater, I don't know.
Moving on. Let's go.
Tom Brady out.
I'm gonna wrap this up. LeBron James is a great player. He's gonna go down as one of the greatest. If you're talking about career points, like scoring, because he did beat Kareem's record, because Kareem held that for the longest. I mean, but he's played longer than Kareem. So, I mean, obviously he's shooting the ball more. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not, and I'm saying this not to be facetious, but it's losers that say that championships don't matter, because essentially that's what you're playing the game for.
Championships do matter.
And so if he has 4, how many has he lost in the finals? Jordan is 6-6. So the reason if we're talking about rings, Bill Russell got rings. He played in a different era.
Michael Jordan played in a different era.
What Robert Horry went to different teams to obtain his 7 rings. He played along with Kobe. He played along with Tim Duncan and what's that dude's name? David Robinson. You know what I'm saying? He went to different teams to attain his rings. Well, but he did not necessarily put teams on his back. He was a part of the machine. Kobe, Jordan, Steph. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about, and we're talking about finals records. Steph,
I can't believe you guys don't even push Shaquille O'Neal up there. That was
Shaq's up there too.
In the NBA.
The most dominant center in the NBA.
Period.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Played with Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, again, if we're talking about finals records, I mean, Steph owns LeBron.
If we're talking about finals records, guys, we know who it is.
Steph
and it's LeBron. Not Steph, and it's not Jordan, and it's not
LeBron only beat Steph Curry once in the finals.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if we're talking
facts.
If we're talking about champion, that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about championship, facts are facts. None of the guys you just named are in the conversation.
Yeah. How? Not even LeBron, because he doesn't have enough.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
LeBron has 4. Steph has 4. Jordan has 6. Kobe has 5.
Who has the most?
Who has the Bill Russell?
Exactly. He's the GOAT. If we're talking about championships, he's the GOAT.
We know he's the GOAT.
I don't think he's the GOAT. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's the GOAT. But like I said, I respect him.
Stats matter, right?
Compared to Michael
No,
Jordan.
that's what I'm saying. Though. Stats across the board matter. You got to add
stats matter. So if I got 11 rings, if I got 11 championships, that makes me the GOAT. If nobody else has it, that makes me the GOAT.
If having rings means you're the GOAT, I don't think that
is having championships makes you the GOAT.
That's the biggest stat of all.
But
how many times did you win?
But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, because y'all were arguing Michael Jordan or Kobe, and what I'm saying is, if it's Michael Jordan or Kobe because of how many rings they have, then somebody has more rings than them. What I say is, look at all the stats, line them up, just add everybody's stats. Who actually has the better record in every area? The person who has the better record across the board in every area, add it up, is LeBron James.
We're going to end this and move on to Red Pill. If I'm going to say this as a Laker fan, if LeBron was to go, I was hoping that he showed up the other night to help my Lakers win the 18th championship, and it ain't happened.
Well,
he didn't show up. He disappeared in the fourth. He's a great magician. When in the fourth quarter, he disappears better than David Copperfield. But I'm just, that's me as a Laker fan being salty. Right. So anyway.
Just trying to give y'all lazy folks a hand.
No, it's
go back to
facts. We actually we're connoisseurs of basketball.
We lazy. Load management. Stats. LeBron is the GOAT, but we're lazy.
LeBron has better
stats.
My God! What's up yesterday?
Come
LeBron
on,
has
y'all can't keep moving the goalposts like
this. Kobe Bryant in LA.
You can't keep moving the goalposts like this.
I didn't move it. I said count
in 4 or 5 years. He has better stats than Kobe in LA.
We pulled it up yesterday. We
looked up Jordan.
No, we didn't. We pulled up.
And we looked up Kobe, but as far as being a better Laker, Jordan, and then we will come back to this. We will come back. We will come back. Yeah, because you're haters. I love the adoration, but you're delusional. We need to check your bottle. What do you have in your bottle?
Y'all the ones.
Did they slip you a blue pill in that water bottle?
That ain't water you drink here, no.
Yeah. All right. So what we were trying to get to yesterday, we were trying to talk about toxic masculinity and this red pill stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been one of these things where, I'm not a huge fan of some of the men of today's era. I know Quez isn't. I'm pretty sure Rob's a real man. We're not necessarily a fan of these dudes. And I brought Adoration on because she goes hard in the paint against these red pill people. But just to get a better understanding of what red pill is, you don't like them. It's okay. You don't like them like how we don't like hearing LeBron is to go. I mean, so it's just
women are going to keep themselves bitter, broke, and angry because they are mad at men, and they have this movement called decentering men. I don't think that it's new, but it's definitely a movement that is catching more waves called decentering men, where basically women are saying that they are removing men from the center of their lives and they're not considering them. They don't care about them. They don't want to date them. They don't want to deal with them. They think that they're scary and all of this other dumb shit because they think that men are a monolith, when in reality it's the culture a lot of times that keep you broke. And it also keeps you dating the same people that you don't want to take accountability for, the person that you opened up your legs to and had a child with, and now you got the results, and certain men don't want to deal with you and you're not getting the results that your mother or your grandmother had, and now you want to blame them and saying that they were under duress. In reality, they were happy and they had strong families, and it translated into a strong economy and a great neighborhood, and we tore it up and we decided that we want to remove the family, and now we want to have children out of wedlock. And then they're using red pill as an excuse for why they want to be angry instead of dealing with their trauma. And for the people in the back, in which I don't consider myself at all, not even remotely, as a red pill content creator. I've been successfully married. I have majority women employees for over 20 years, successfully married for over 20 years. I majority employ women. I have a daughter that's awesome, and my wife is black, for everybody that keeps saying, hey, Anton, do you got a white wife? I don't. Red pill is just removing a veil from men's eyes to the reality of what they got to deal with in society, especially when it comes to relationships. It comes from the movie The Matrix, where the blue pill kept you in La La Land, where essentially you were given a perception of what reality is so that they can harvest you and use you as a battery, when in reality, if you took the red pill, if your mind was ready, it basically shows you that everything ain't all peaches and cream. This is the reality. It doesn't mean hate women. It doesn't mean that anybody is angry. And of course, there are going to be angry people, and I hate angry people on the far left or on the far right, whether it's politics or relationships. Anybody that's extremes in their view and not just talking about the reality and the truth, they're not good for society. But the reason why we're...
All right, so now we got to just, because he was about to go on and on.
Yeah, that's it. What this nigga talking about?
It's a 3-minute video. I didn't even know it was that damn long. I meant to clip it. Shit.
It's okay. So he's talking about what red pill is.
Yeah, kind of breaking it down because again, I'm ignorant to a lot of this terminology: red pill, drizzle, soft, You know what I mean? I'm ignorant to it. So some of this I got to go look up and, try to get some type of understanding because I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's going on. Here goes another red pill content creator.
You got the family courts where women are initiating 80% of the divorces, 90% of alimony is paid for men to women. Women win almost all the child custody battles, okay? And people might sit there, well, Myron, the men don't fight for the kids. The reason why they don't fight for the kids is because their lawyers tell them not to waste their money and time because they're going to lose. Because a lot of people say, oh, well, Myron, the men don't even fight for the kids. That's why the women get the kids automatically. No, a lot of the times when guys retain counsel, the counsel tells them straight up, bro, you're not going to get them. The only way that you're going to get custody of your kids in today's day and age is the woman got to be damn near pathetic and homeless.
Krishan Rock.
Yeah.
Level type stuff.
And she still got the kid.
Yeah. Which is scary, by the way.
All right, y'all. So what are you guys' thoughts about? Do you think that red pill society or red pill thinking ties into toxic masculinity? Is there a difference or does it kind of correlate?
Well, I mean, from my own perspective, if you kind of follow the whole red pill thing, and I think it's very popular, or it was very popular, and it's kind of dying down now because people are kind of like, but no, it is like when you listen to all the fronts, like the guy who was just on the screen, that guy's Myron. He is if you listen to his teachings, and they target mainly young men because but if you listen to his teachings, he's the guy who will tell you that as a man, in order to get a girl, you have to get money first. You have to sleep with at least 50 women before you consider settling down with a woman. You have to don't be in a relationship, just have sex. He's also a racist. He did the whole KKK thing. It's kind of a rabbit hole, and that's kind of what social media is. They start kind of normal, and they go down into a rabbit hole of like,
bullshit.
Everything, yeah, but everything that has to do with like, it starts with like, this is the issue that we're having. Then it runs to misogyny, and then toxic masculinity, and then like full out racist KKK. That's how he got demonetized. He went KKK, and then YouTube was just like, okay, you gotta go. And that happened to all the red pill content creators. So it's kind of the same like walk they're all having. And yeah, a lot of it that they preach and teach is toxic masculinity. It's not good for the children. And Netflix actually did I don't know what to call it, like a series, a limited series about it and the effects that it's having on kids because they did a statistic. The people that the young men, not just young men, actually a lot of them are old, but the men that are involved in the red pill, their percentage of violence towards women went up significantly. And so ladies, like if your guy's red pill, like you find out your guy's kind of red, ladies are just breaking up. Like the breakup stats are high for that because it's dangerous. Like the kind of stuff that they talk about and teach and preach and the stuff that's happening is bad.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
No doubt. So Rob, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna be honest. I 1000% agree with what she just said. I would add a little more into it. Like, I mean, just the clip you just showed right there, like the whole court thing, on custody, stuff like that. That is miseducation.
It is. I actually looked up the stats.
As a father who won custody, it's honestly, it's what our old dads taught us growing up. In case you did, or your grandfathers, handle your shit, man. Take care of your business. Make sure you're in your child's life as much as you need to be. Financially, take care of that. Show that you can, and you have a place and everything else for them, and everything just works out. Honestly, when they're 12 years old, they can choose where they want to live, anyways. So it's not really always up to the course of, at least not in California. Now, as far as everything else goes, I don't know about that, but I get a sense it's like more of things don't go my way because I'm not handling my shit. I don't want to own up to it. So I'm going to use A, B, C, D, E, F, G as an example instead of me being accountable. That's just my vibe on that. There's always, I mean, the dice doesn't always roll your way, but that doesn't mean you're not going to have your rights or your fair share of custody either. I don't know any court that's going to make sure that, unless you're flat out beating a lady or beating your kids, I don't know any court that's going to keep a dad out of their kid's life and take away their custody like that.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make sense.
That's facts,
No
because
doubt.
90% of guys that fight for their kids, this is a statistic in America, get their kids. 90%. But he's trying to say that they're not even allowed to fight for the kids. They're being discouraged to fight for the kids, which most courts kind of beg you to like be in your kid's life.
Yeah, and honestly, you don't need a
But
lawyer.
Quez has something to say though, because Quez has kids.
The only time you need a lawyer is if you're going for like major custody money issues, like I'm talking about like Dwayne Wade or something like that.
Right,
Yeah,
that's different. Yeah, that's different. But even these guys could take care of their kids if they want. They're always in court for child support. But I'm like, why don't you just take your kid sometime? Why do you just automatically assume that you're just not going to take care of your kid at all? Why would you do that? Why don't you take your kid 3 days a week, 4 days a week? I don't understand.
And not
I'm just
to
asking.
knock on any women at all. Not to knock on any guys either. Like,
we lost you. We lost your connection.
You went silent. You went silent.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Rob.
He can't hear us. Rob, you went quiet. We can't hear you. Maybe disconnect your headset. Maybe they can reconnect it.
No,
Hey, but listen, this is what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about in terms of custody and people being there for their children. Has anyone ever stopped to ask, why does the father have to fight for his children?
He doesn't.
But you guys just said if you fight or if you fight correctly, then you have a better chance of winning.
But Quez, that's if you're in a situation that you have the only time when you have to fight for custody, and this is women and men, is when the other person like takes the kids. You don't always have
who is the other person?
The other person is the other parent. The other
usually the mother, right?
Usually the mother. Listen, the reason why it's usually the mother is because the mother like usually takes the kids by default. And when I say that, I mean that, for example, if your dad wanted custody of you, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Your mother just had you by default because she was the one there. She was the one who stayed. And you know that most of the time.
But that's not.
No, listen to what I'm saying real quick. Most of the time.
I'm listening.
The mom is the one who stays there. She's the one who stays with the kids there. She's the one who actually physically stays. As dads are usually the ones that get up and walk out of the house. Right? How many moms? No, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I know some moms, but how many moms do you know that got up and said, "Hey, I'm out," and she's gone for a month, and then she's like, "You know what? I want custody of the kids." So then she has to fight for kids. And I know women who had to do this because they got up and left. Right? So then if the other parent's like, "Oh no, don't touch my kids," then you have to go to court. Right? That happens a lot. But it doesn't. The thing is this: there's a lot of men and women that are not together that share their kids before they even have to go to court. Court is when the mom's like, "I don't trust you and I don't want you around my kid." And he's like, "Oh, say less. Let's go to court." That's when that happens. That's not always the case. Your dad, I'm sure, wasn't banned from coming to see you. A lot of people's dads.
This is really complicated.
Then you got to go to court.
Before Jess, before you get into it, and Rob, we're gonna circle back because you went silent. I gotta ask you, Adoration. So, what is your level of experience in dealing with the court system and kid custody and stuff? Have you seen it firsthand?
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced it firsthand, or are you witnessing it from one of your friends?
I experienced it and witnessed it.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely. But I think he's because I don't have any kids. So for me, my parents never had that problem between themselves, but we've had issues with other people trying to come for our family, and then my cousins. I like everybody around me. My cousins, pretty much everybody around me. And then as missionaries, of course, we were heavily involved with we were more so involved with trying to get people's dads or whatever back in their lives so that they could we're helping take care of the kids, and we're like, hey, where's the dad at? That's kind of because we're like missionaries, so we kind of had a lot of people living
this is the problem with this fallacy, right? Dads don't typically just get up and walk away from their children.
I understand.
That's a fallacy, but you keep saying it, so that's what
I didn't keep saying it. I said
wait. We gotta let him go.
You keep saying, typically the dad is the one that walks out. The dad is the one who leaves. The dad is such and such, right?
Okay.
My problem with that scenario, because again, I lived it firsthand. Mm-hmm. Someone who, before any court process, had his children living with him, taking care of them, taking them to school, working full time, all of that, right? And being a model co-parent, not having any issues, not requesting anything, letting said person figure out their life. A simple piece of paperwork changed the perspective of how I was as a father in the court system. No real investigative information. No real. Oh well, she filed from this date, so you owe. So that's why. That's what I say. Like we talk about this as if it's simple as apples and oranges, and it's not necessarily that. There's a lot of nuance that goes into these child custody battles. So to say that a majority of this or a majority that, and women don't do this because, and men don't do that because, like it's very hard to come to those conclusions, because even in the court system, it is biased, regardless of what anyone says. It's very biased. And shouts out to Rob for getting custody of his children. You know what I'm saying? And all the other men who have done so. But it is a very not only hard battle to fight, it's a very mentally draining battle to fight. It's a very financially straining battle to fight. You know what I mean? To be able to make that your reality. And most men cannot do all of the three and be in their right sane mind. So my whole thing is, why don't we ever talk about why these men have to fight for their children? Because we always say this. Well, he didn't fight enough to be in his kid's life. He didn't fight enough to get custody. Why is he fighting?
Because I'd like to go adoration. I got to jump in. And just because it looked like you had something to say, so I just got to kind of. There are some men who literally get up and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there's some where it becomes definitely like you got to put up. They put up like obstacles. You have to kind of go through hurdles, whatever, like that, in order to see or even have a relationship with kids. I've seen that too. So you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely not. It's definitely complex. It's really, really complex. But go ahead, Jess.
For me, I got up and walked out with my kids.
Yeah.
So I did leave because I wasn't putting it up with no more. So, as far as fighting, neither one of my child's fathers had to fight, except when there was an issue. When there was an issue, I brought it to the courts because he wasn't trying to listen to me. My children's safety. Sorry. My children's safety is the most important thing to me. So I'm going to fight for that. So women have to fight too.
Well, yeah, if a man's in court fighting, then there's a woman in court fighting on the other side. So that's just without saying. If there's somebody fighting, they're fighting somebody. So both are fighting. Mentally draining, physically draining.
I know a recent father who literally had to go to court to fight to have his daughter in his life because the mother was on drugs and literally abandoned the child.
Yes, that's a thing. Yes.
So, I mean, a lot of it is like what Third was saying, it's complex and circumstantial. And I mean, on both sides, there's a lot of people that don't want to go into debt and talk about their case and why it didn't go their way or anything like that. But I'm just saying firsthand, like if you got your stuff together and your kid is at your house and you register your kid in the school system at your house, guess what? You're his primary resident, dude. Yeah. And I didn't have to fight with her at all. The judge was like, all right, well, you want to live here. You already registered to go to school. Start getting ready to pay child support. And that was it. There was like no safety. But once again, there was no safety issues. There was nothing like this. There wasn't any of that. It was pretty clean cut and dry. My boy was like 12 going on 13. He's like, yeah, I'm going to live with my dad. That's it. But once again, like, you know, every situation is different. A lot of it's complex. It could be a lot of toxicity going on both sides that have to get worked out. And I mean, honestly, I guess the best way to say it is if you're going to fight for yours, you're going to fight for yours. I can't tell you how it's going to roll because every situation is different, man. But as long as you know you're doing everything and you can to handle your business, you're a good person, man. That's all that matters. Like, you're staying true to yourself, and your kid's going to see that, regardless of how the dice rolls.
Agreed. Amen.
That was beautiful. So I do have another clip where we have a guy that actually talks about toxic masculinity. So we're going to get into this. Shout out to Jason Wilson, and I think it was on Tamara Hall. So this is the source of the clip.
So when you hear terms like toxic masculinity, there's nothing toxic about being masculine. Yeah. If this
what do you
building
mean by
was,
that?
if this building was on fire, would you want passive firemen to come in here eating donuts, relax? No. You want men full of masculine attributes, courage, strength, boldness, kicking down doors and carrying us out of here to safety. So there's nothing toxic about masculinity. What has happened is we've allowed that one word to define manhood. It's just an adjective, attributes traditionally ascribed to men as strength, boldness, and aggression. It was never meant to be a comprehensive definition of what it means to be a man. And so when you pigeonhole men into just two attributes of life, and then you look at the stats which say we die by suicide almost 4 times as likely as women. We commit almost 90% of homicides in this country. 9 out of 10 people to live to be over 100 are women. What has happened to men is that we're not tired of living, we're tired of not living.
Thoughts?
Men half the floor.
Oh man,
it's deep.
I feel that is it's misleading, and that was another poor example, man.
Speak on it. This is drop your 3 cents.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I offend anyone, but the whole example of like if your house is burning and you got firefighters eating donuts, being masculine. No, dude, it's not about masculinity at all. It's about being a decent human being. That's what we do. When someone's in help like that, you definitely drop what you're doing and you help out. It has nothing to do with being masculine whatsoever. And the stat that he just, like I said, I feel like it's going down that hole, like she was saying. You want to throw the stats on that example, man? Like, it's crazy to me, and to see people clap about it is crazy to me. Like, yeah, women do outlive men a lot because we're just bad at a lot of things when it comes to health, our choices, what we drink, what we put in our bodies. But yeah, if you want to talk about the whole freaking suicide rate and everything else, like, trust me, being depressed and all that stuff with the mental illness going on has nothing to do with being masculine, man. Like, everybody has a breaking point, right? Like, even me, I didn't even realize, and you know this, Third, I didn't even realize how bad anxiety was until my whole thing happened with Jen. Like, you know, my life flipped. I didn't even know what that was. I had to read up on it. I had to go to therapy over it. Like, does that make me less masculine? Nah.
But I will say,
it ties into man speaking to another man, and from what I learned, it ties into the definition or the correlation of toxic masculinity, because a lot of times, like you just said, a lot of the health choices, a lot of the choices and stuff that we do we continue to put our head down and we go. We don't necessarily express our feelings. We don't necessarily articulate it. We find other habits to kind of suppress it or to try to just, your favorite song of mine, Novocaine. We find different ways to kind of numb the pain or whatever it is that we go through. And sometimes later, those feelings or those whatever thoughts, feelings, whatever we have that was suppressed, they find a way to arise. You know what I'm saying? And we project in certain ways to where it could be unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? It could be toxic to our relationship with our wives, our kids, our family members, our friends, our co-workers, you know what I'm saying, without getting the right amount of help.
Can I ask you this though, Third? Like going back to what you said, like you just said, we put our heads down, we numb it, we keep pushing forward. Is that really being masculine, or is that being a crash test dummy?
It ties into the whole thing of what it means to be a man.
The toxic part, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's the toxic part because it ties into the thing of what the quote unquote stigma of what it is to be a man. We have to be strong. We've been taught, hey, we can't cry. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep going. We got to be the rock. You know what I'm saying? But what happens when the rock begins to crumble? And nobody really seems to look at that. When that rock begins to crumble, what happens? Do you still look at that rock the same, or you consider it weak? You know what I'm saying? And no one really seems to really think about that because we are taught to be providers. We're taught to be the strength, the safety net. You know what I'm saying? And so there's certain things that we were taught, because of what the old school way meant of being a man. And this is what we're talking about today in society. But now if we look at it, we have a lot of soft cats in today's society, a lot of these red pill cats, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I'd like to draw the attention more so to what he meant during that analogy in his story is for the most part, what he's saying is we consider these men to be, their attributes. They're fearless, they're aggressive, and you know what I'm saying, they're masculine in the proper context. Now, when I say that, I don't mean it to be, they out here punching old ladies on the street for no reason or that type of behavior. But they're aggressive when necessary, right? Under the right circumstances in regards to their children and their wives and their family, right? There's a certain level of aggression that's needed to protect those assets, right? There's a certain level of masculinity that those groups of individuals depend on, right? Like I'm not, if my house catches on fire, I'm not gonna look to Denisha to grab me and the kids and carry me out of the house. Now, some may say that's misogynistic, but I'm thinking about it in reality, you know what I'm saying, and biology and physically, right? It's my job to protect my family. So at the end of the day, I'm going to pick up my children and my wife and drag them out of the house. I'm not going to look to her to do that. And that doesn't make me toxic because in essence, she's going to look for me to do that too. If shit is going haywire and me being the leader of my family, she's going to look to me for leadership. And I'm not going to say, hey, Denisha, get us out of here. She's going to look to me and say, hey, what do we need to do? And if I don't have an answer, that's toxic. If I'm perpetrating or pretending to be some male, alpha male and red pill guru, and when shit hits the fan, I buckle and I fold and I don't know what the fuck to do, that's toxic to me. You know what I'm saying? But having a well-designed consciousness about yourself and desire to protect your family is not toxic to me. You know what I mean? That's what I gathered from that video is like they're being conflated with two different, very, very different issues. Like the Red Pill Society, from what I ascertained, right? The Myron Gaines, I know him from being an anti-black racist. I didn't know him from being a guru in the Red Pill space. Anton Daniels, the first clip, I know him from being a business mastermind, not really being in the Red Pill space. So both of those individuals I know on a different context, but seeing that they could be the leaders of such things, I don't look to them for guidance. I think the individuals who are looking to other grown men that they have no real attachment to and no real societal equity with is a dangerous situation in any regard. You know what I'm saying? You should, your circle of influence should start at home. You shouldn't be online trying to figure out how to talk to women and how to manage your family and how to be a real man from somebody that you've never fucking met. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what this person's life is. We're all great online. I'm the greatest human being on fucking Facebook. If you let me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I put up motivational posts every goddamn morning. You know what I'm saying? And I help people with business opportunities. I'm a public speaker. I'm the greatest person you will ever see online.
Only on Friday.
You don't see me at home, you know what I'm saying, arguing with my wife. You don't see me at home, you know what I'm saying, disciplining my kids. I don't put that shit online. I don't start a YouTube series about me smoking cigarettes in my garage and stressed out. You know what I'm saying? That's not what the fuck I put online. You see the best part of me in social media. And that's what most people get, is the best version of them is what they put on social media. There are a couple wackos out there that get on there and cry and spaz the fuck out and crash out and do all that kind of weird shit, but we don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are putting the highlights of our day and the highlights of our life online. We're not really showing you, hey, today I work 10 hours and I'm stressed out and you know my child is sick and I still have to do this business event and you know what I'm saying? I might be $200 short on my rent and I don't know how I'm gonna pay it before I get paid again. And you know, I'm really over here stressed out about it. And you know, I got a quarter tank of gas and I got to get to work for the rest of the week. Or like people aren't telling you these things. They just smile and shit all fucking day. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? Face card valid. And you know what I'm saying? All this type of shit that you see on just what I don't take that shit for what it's supposed to mean. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't know what red pill and all that society is. I just know I don't fuck with them. They probably don't fuck with me because I'm married and I have children and I take care of my wife and whatever the fuck they preaching, I've already done. So if they need some advice, they could talk to me and I
talk
can
to real married people.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can help you with marriage and you know, like you don't need game to find a wife. You just need to be your fucking self. Weirdos.
Right.
Finally, no, really, because
Where your
no, seriously, it's the same as taking financial advice from a homeless guy. It doesn't make no sense.
Why would I listen to him?
Yeah,
I would listen to him about how not to lose. But you can always gain some type of knowledge or experience from somebody. But go ahead, Jess.
About the red pill community.
I guess. What kind of we're on? Red pill or toxic masculinity. You take a pick.
Jess, you have young sons at the age where, according to the statistics, 79% of young men are exposed to the whole red pill thing. I don't know if you watch Adolescence on Netflix, but it's really terribly affecting these young men. So as a boy mom, because there were a lot of boy moms that were they actually did a study on it. They pulled young boys aside and were asking them about the situation. Like, because when Andrew Tate, who was the guy who was like the god of it, was kind of really popular, it was getting really bad, you know, with young boys. Their self-esteem was getting really bad. They were becoming very violent. So as a boy mom, I mean, I know we don't have any clips that kind of show what's happening, but I don't know. Have you ever heard of this stuff or anything?
Have I ever heard of what?
Have you ever heard of this stuff, like, from your boys? Have they ever talked about?
So when Andrew Tate was on his little high or whatever, my oldest son was not old enough to even be paying attention to that stuff.
Amen.
Like, he's 16 right now. So I don't think he was influenced at all. I think with handling women, he takes a lot of advice from me.
Amen.
Yeah, a lot of advice from me, not his dad.
Yeah.
It's just facts.
And now you got third. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and I got him to back me up.
No, I mean, you're. I think the guys are laughing because I don't know. I don't want to.
We ain't never took no female advice from our mothers.
Right.
But good for her son.
You know what we're telling you, adoration. What we're telling you is he's not taking it either. We all used to be like, "Yeah, mom, that's a great idea," and we go out and do something completely the opposite.
No, he does it.
I'm just
so what I was getting ready to get at is that it's good and bad at the same time to listen to a woman. As far as you want to listen to a woman about how it is to treat a woman.
That's what I said.
Yes,
you're right. But
No,
as far as how it is for a man to be towards a woman, it's a little bit different because you're gonna tell him what your idea of a man is. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna tell him what you would like from a man. You know what I'm saying? What you would like your man to be. But the reality of it is, how much do you know about the said man?
No, the reality of it is your son will go out there and not get no pussy. And then he
Sorry. Hey, stop.
No, listen. Listen.
No. Hey,
guys, let me talk. This is really good.
You gotta pass, man. How's it going, BJ?
I'm so glad he said
that. No, I wasn't trying to. Get extra. But go ahead.
But
go ahead, adoration. I
want to talk about that. This same guy that's on the stage right now that we just saw. I sent Dirt another clip earlier. And what he said was when he was 16 years old, he went with his cousin. His cousin was having sex with his girlfriend. And he was talking to the little sister for the first time, the 16-year-old boy. Then they left. And he's like, did you have sex with the girl? And he's like, no, I just met her. I don't know her. And he's like, oh, you a virgin? So then he goes home and he says to all the uncles, aunts, moms, dad, he's like, this boy's a virgin. They're all laughing at him. And he said, at that moment, he was like, oh, there's something wrong with me as a man because I'm a virgin. So he went out, found the girl that liked him, had sex with her just to get it over with. And he said at that moment, his mind switched from, hey, I want to be in a meaningful relationship with a girl I want to have sex, to let me just have sex with girls for validation. And I've seen so many young men. We actually had one on our live because my sister does a live, a 16-year-old boy. Completely, I mean, I love that he's trying, but these things of sexual immorality as a young man, because older men are looking at you, older men, not younger men, are looking at you and saying, oh, you ain't getting no pussy. They think that
good gosh.
You didn't let me finish. That's the problem, adoration. Hold on, time out. No, time out, adoration, because you cut off my statement to insert your point. You didn't let me finish.
I wanted to bring up that
topic. But you didn't know where I was going, right? Like, that's all I'm saying. You didn't know in which direction I was headed with that conversation. What I was saying was in the regards of if her son feels like he wants to do right, he's gonna go out there and figure out that maybe the advice that his mother gave him is not gonna get him women. And then what is he gonna do? That hold your tongue, hold your mule, right? He's gonna go out there and he's gonna try to figure out the easiest and quickest way for him to get the results that he wants. That's what I'm saying. As a man, I'm telling you because I lived it, right? And coming from a single mother household, like my mom, the advice she gave me when I was 16 is great for me and my wife now. You know what I'm saying? But at 16, I wasn't concerned with wives. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being realistic. I wasn't concerned with a wife at 16. I was concerned with the rest of my friends is getting some, and they said it's amazing. I want to get some too. And my wife, my mom says, I should get her some flowers and a teddy bear. And now all the rest of the dudes at the school is laughing at me because I done walked in here with flowers and a teddy bear, and I'm still in the friend zone. That's masculinity. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, as for you women, you need to understand that your sons are going to take advice from you, and they might not necessarily need it. But when it comes to men, you know what I'm saying, giving that same advice in certain scenarios, they're going to hear it different. Like I just told you, my mom gave me some great advice that I didn't use until my 30s.
So I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, too big. Hold that thought. With Sasha, that's your name?
Yeah.
Shasta.
That's my sister.
Okay, hey, nice to meet you, sister.
Hi.
We got BJ. We can't really see you. You kind of got the curtains going on in the background, but shout out to you, BJ. You're talking in the background. There you go.
There, turn your camera, BJ. We can't see you.
I was having to talk with my wife. Hold on.
Hey.
No, you good. What's going on, my beautiful people? Shasha, how you doing?
Good, doing good. I actually have a son. He's 2, but this whole conversation really intrigued me. Actually, Addie invited me, and I woke up like, okay. But it really intrigued me because, like, I'm trying to raise my son to be a good man that's going to, not just that a good man. I'm not saying that any of these men aren't good, any men aren't good or anything, but I want him to be a successful man. I want him to be successful in relationship.
Yeah. And
I don't want him to end up in a nursing home. I don't want him to die early. I don't want to see what's happening with the other generation, with the older generation happen to my son if he continues to go on this path of self-destruction, because some things are just a lie. If you sleep around all your life, you're not going to be in a good marriage. You're going to be used to sleeping around. And once you cheat, you're going to get left. You're going to lose your family, your kids, everything that you work to build that's expensive, you're going to lose it. Every ounce of money that you make with multiple women, you're going to lose it. Trying to show off, you're going to lose it. So I just want to raise my son with honesty so that he can have a chance. Yeah.
You want to know?
I want
to LeBron James. Shasha?
Wait, real quick.
Off the internet.
Sure. Well, real quick. I gotta jump in real quick. Just kind of give some house rules a little bit for the newcomers. Thank you and welcome to the show. This is the after party. So hey, if you're using your phone, make sure that you use your headphones because it will work better with the sound and the microphone. Also, too, make sure that you keep your camera on. Make sure you got good Wi-Fi. BJ, I took you off real quick because I saw you eating. We don't want no eating on the show because it distracts for the viewers. You know what I'm saying? Drinking is cool. Everything else is cool, but the eating, chewing, talking in the sideline, we got to kind of put you backstage until you finish, just for the value and production of the show. So, but dang, we lost Quest. All right.
I was just going to say, Quest was right. Keep him off the internet.
I agree.
Honestly, I don't think you should be on the internet until you're like 18. To be honest, man.
I agree.
All right, unmute your mic, BJ.
So I agree.
So,
BJ, how you
doing? I'm glad you're here because we meant to have this talk yesterday. We got caught up in the whole LeBron James talk and debate, and it went on for like way too long. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if he was the greatest, the Lakers would be playing in the second round right about now. You know what I'm saying? Just my thoughts as a Lakers fan and me being petty. So. But the thing is, I mean, hey, you got 17 rings. I don't know about everybody else. The only one that can talk trash is Rob. Nobody else can talk, So. But so Shasta, the best place for coincidentally, I mean, you're on the internet, but saying, but this right here, this whole platform is meant for people to come up and to talk, to give their experiences, to get perspectives, because again, we can go in life thinking that hey, we're right, we see things just totally just mono and tunnel vision, but there's other perspectives that we can take, we can learn from, and we can use to sit there and shape our own. So this is a good platform, it's a good safe zone. It's almost like a kickback of sorts where you can talk to people who you can trust and just get some type of advice from, and you can sit up there and use it as your own. Us as men, say we want to definitely make sure that we see your son grow up to be successful and to be a good man, because that's going to be part of the legacy that we leave behind. And that goes for any young man that we encounter, so this is why you have like the Robs, we have like the Quezes. I'm not too sure about BJ, but I think BJ has different outreaches and stuff. We take time to reach out for the younger ones coming up, because we don't want them to turn into the red pill society. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure we teach them it's okay to cry when you feel hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's not good to cry when you can't get your way, or throw tantrums or crash out because a girl rejects you, or you face certain things, or you get told no. It's okay to be told no, but it's okay to try again in certain aspects. We want to make sure that we change the narrative, because a lot of the stuff that we see, especially from men who were once boys who grew up in single parent homes, if we can go back and talk to our younger selves, I think this is what's part of the platform and why it's here too. We can go back and talk to our younger selves. I would have many conversations with my younger self and say, hey, maybe you should try this. Don't go this route. This is you're gonna get to where you need to go, but it's gonna take you a lot longer if you go this route. Maybe you should try this. And just like you said, there is pressure for young boys to have sex.
Yes.
But I don't necessarily know if it's coming from the older crowds. From my experience in high school and junior high, it was coming from my peers because some of my friends were already out there having sex and doing X, Y, and Z. Matter of fact, it wasn't even just from the boys. Sometimes the girls will be looking at you like you somewhat of a square or you're a lame if you're not having sex, if you're not doing certain things.
Yeah,
you know, you got
that's what I was trying to say. Third, like
you so eloquently,
they us grown men out here telling your sons to have sex with girls. They at school with their friends, and their friends is getting their little Johnsons wet. You know what I'm saying? And they telling them how amazing it is.
Take away his apple juice.
You got little Tatiana over here, like, oh, what, you scared? You don't want it, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody kids is not your kids. Like, let's just be real about that. Everybody kids is not raised how you raising your kids.
And you might not even know
your
kids.
And you get put in that quote unquote friend zone. Oh, he's a good friend. While they over here with this guy over here who's beating
slurping up the squad. You know what I'm saying? Your son is a great friend. He get her some hot Cheetos and all that, you know, during passing period. And the whole time he's thinking, oh, we got something going. And you know what I mean? When you don't see her after school, she's sucking 7 penises in the bathroom. This is really what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't live in this fallacy where these things don't happen. Like we've all seen them. Well,
no, that's right. The thing we're talking about now, because kids are going to be kids. The thing we're talking about now is grown adults online telling you to go do this stuff. That's the problem.
You have control over that as a parent.
As a parent, but as a kid,
they have a way around it.
They have a way around it. Their friends got phones. They got internet at school.
But even as parents, the best we could do is try to educate them as much as we can.
Exactly. It's your job to instill all the information.
I'm gonna keep it 100. And my mom, because you know she acts like she ain't watching. She might be watching. Her husband might be watching because it popped up on his feed. But you know, one thing about my mom, she didn't hide nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? And my mom kept a 100% real policy. You know, with her oldest son. I'm not sure what she had with my sisters or my younger brother, but with me, because we're both fellow Sagittarius, she kept it what we call all the way real. Amen. So when it came to sex, she said, look, I would like you not to have sex. I don't want you to have sex. I want you to abstain from it. But the reality is I know that there's peer pressure out there. You may have your own feelings, but I want you to be smart about it if you do. This is what happens when you do this and you cross this line. This is what could happen. If you laying down with this woman or this girl right here, ask yourself, is she somebody that you can see yourself with for the rest of your life? Because if she is not, then you don't want to have sex with this girl because a baby could come out of this equation. And it doesn't matter if the baby is 18, you're going to be dealing with this child you're dealing with this person for the rest of your life. You're going to see this person in your child for the rest of your life. So if you up here with a booger wolf, you know what I'm saying, or this person isn't all that right, do you see yourself having a child? If no, then it's not worth it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I did the same thing your mom did, Third. I just added some threats into it, you know.
Right, exactly.
I said the same thing.
Hey, your little penis gonna fall off. You know what I'm saying? You keep putting this.
Well, then she did say that too. She said, look, there's STDs out there. Then she said there's STDs and stuff out there that, you know, that you may think sweet games to be real.
That's what my mom told me. You keep playing around, your little dick gonna fall off. You know what I'm saying? What?
Sorry, y'all. For those that are watching, this is the after party and questions in rare form. You know what I'm saying?
No,
bring back Richard Pryor.
I'm in rare form because one, you know what I'm saying? I have an adult son. You know what I'm saying? Who's 19 in college, away from home. dealing with these scenarios in real time, right? And then, you know, I come from the single parent household where my mom, you know, did her damnedest to make me a great human being. Not to her a fail, but, you know, I did some dumb shit. It didn't have nothing to do with her. You know what I'm saying? And I want people to be realistic about these scenarios. I think one of the biggest problems are as parents, because even I do this, we try to save our children from the shit that made us who we are. We try to guard our children from the things that made us aware of what happens in the world. You know what I'm saying? We just not going to talk about sex because I don't want you to know about it. Knowing that when we got to high school, everybody was talking about sex. We try to pretend like they're never going to run into it. Look, just hold this Bible and you read this. That's not going to help. That ain't gonna help. But this is adoration. But this is what people are doing.
Me and Jess are from San Bernardino. I was hearing about sex in Little Zion at 5 or 6 years old.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but
that's why my mama never let me go outside.
And now look at you now. You went third, so shit didn't work out. But anyway, moving on.
I found my dad's porns when I was 6, bro.
Hey, your mom couldn't say
I'm a military
man. I hope you're third now. Shit. You know what I mean? What should you say? But anyway,
she got with a rapper.
No, but what I'm saying is like, we literally try to protect our children from the things that made us the great human beings that we are, right? We had to go through some of these things and realize life in the world in its true context without just an explanation, but with the experience. And the best thing we could do as parents is explain to them what that experience is going to entail and tell them how to best navigate it instead of trying to say, don't ever go over there. Don't, because when you tell kids not to do shit, they tend to want to do it.
The bad ones.
That's just no, all of them. All of them. Shit. Mahir is 9 months. I tell him stop touching the blinds. He keep reaching up there and grabbing them. Just because I told him not because I said no. Once I said no, he grabbed him up every day now. You know what I'm saying? Faithfully. You know, it don't matter. Like once you tell somebody they can't have something, it intrigues them even more to want to have it because now they want to know why they can't have it. Like I understand what you're saying, but I need to know for myself why I can't have it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just human nature with all of us. You know what I'm saying? If I was to tell Third, you know, he can't be Caucasian, even though he's only 77% black. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna want to embrace his black side. You know what I mean? And that's what we appreciate about him.
Oh, is that Ancestry.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, and forever that will hang over his head forever.
Everybody and their mama, literally everybody and their mama is more African than me.
Hey, Rob, you probably got more than him too. Shit.
No, I'm Hebrew, bro. We're Hebrew.
Shit, everybody took the test and came out more black than Third. You know what I'm saying? You take it too. You know what I'm saying? You might beat him too. Shit, he only got 77%.
I mean, like I said, Quest, truthfully, if I can go back and talk to my younger self, because we're talking about this thing about sex, I would tell my younger self to wait. You know, I wish I would have waited because, you know, again, it felt like it was more of a race. It felt like it was to keep up with my homies because, you know, it was something wrong with me if I wasn't out here. Again, there's certain girls talking about it, you know, calling you a lame or saying, oh, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, you finding the girl who's putting out, you know what I'm saying? You don't got no real connection or no emotional tie to her. I ain't care. And that started a trajectory of, you know, having relations with no feelings, you know what I'm saying? So along the way, there may have been some girls who may have gotten their hearts hurt because they thought that maybe something was going to lead to something. And there was no emotional tie because I can get away with it. If I know that I can get the cookie without necessarily giving you my heart, I'm gonna snatch it. I was the cookie monster back then.
But was it, isn't that like part of the growing up phase though, bro? That's the stuff you learn when you're in high school.
You said what?
I said, isn't that part of the growing up phase though? You're supposed to learn that in high school and not carry it over to your adult life.
But see, I did. I carried it up until I was like before I got married.
A lot of people.
Until I got married, I was ruthless. And then Rob, you was with me. You know, what I'm saying we were rappers. You know,
excuse me, sir.
No. I'm speaking. I'm speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? We were entertainers.
Rob, you was there. Okay, Diddy third.
No, Rob was a rapper and a DJ. You know what I'm saying? We used to do shows together. You know what I'm saying? He knows the groupie intel that comes along with what we do.
Was there baby oil at these shows?
No. Not on one. Not on one.
Figure out what was going on.
I'm going to tell you right now, the last time I ever touched an Adios was with Third. That's the last time I ever touched that and the LA Water. That's the last time
it was the LA Water. But so what I'm saying is that, so even with being like a Z-list rapper, you know what I'm saying, like there were certain levels of groupies and stuff that came along with it, or people who are trying to attach themselves to your quote unquote potential or your greatness. So, you know what I'm saying? So if you can get away with taking something from this person without giving something back in return, then you become kind of like, you became like a pro with it until it becomes old. Until you see your homies or your family, your cousins or your brothers, whatever, having kids and families and having stuff that they can share lives with as far as with an actual person. And it becomes one of those lonely ass things where you over here trying to quote unquote be a player, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else is settling down and having kids. You know what I'm saying? People grow up quicker than what, you did. So, and then, we have like men who are now like in their 40s, 50s and 60s, still trying to chase their younger selves, they haven't really matured. So they're over here chasing tail, trying to be up in the club or chasing the young tail, Shannon Sharpe.
That part. That's what I was trying to say is like
allegedly.
No.
Oh no, he did it.
You're going to be doing that in your older life.
Right. He's over here having Django fantasies with white women. So I want to choke you, little white girl.
What?
White women?
She jumped in the
That's what
screen.
Hey, Rob, keep Jen away from Shannon
Sharpe. All the time, bro. We're good.
Hey, Rob, keep her away from Shannon Sharpe. Apparently, he has a fetish. He wants to reenact Django.
I'm gonna lose that fight,
bro.
But
listen, Rob brought up a very valid point though. Like, we all have a whole phase, men and women. You're gonna have it. Adoration, you ain't had yours yet.
Can I say something?
Wait, go ahead.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Don't believe that.
Having a whole phase. Oh, sorry.
No,
having a whole phase is the most dangerous thing you can do to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes,
it is.
That brings diseases that they don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder in your later life, how do you get prostate cancer? Where does prostate cancer come from? Degenerate cells. Where do degenerate cells come from? Weird antibodies from people via sex. And no one talks about that.
Absolutely.
People are dying in their 40s and their 50s, and they don't know where these diseases are coming from. They're collecting it from random people that they're having sex with. When you have sex with someone, whether you're a man or a woman, blood gets exchanged. Blood exchanges.
I thought prostate cancer was genetic.
It's not genetic.
Some of it is.
Some of it could be. Yes, it could be genetic where you can't fight it off, but it comes from something. And I'm not just talking about cancer. A lot of other diseases that doctors don't tell you the reason for diseases. They just tell you that you have it. But the question is, how does it transmit from one person to the next? Easiest way is via sex. No one talks about that. And a lot of my dad, he died. He slept around, and I'm not afraid to say that. He died early. From unknown diseases and what the hell is this? Oh my God. Sorry guys, I'm Gen Z, so I might say what the hell, but what's this? What's that? What's that? And I see it happen a lot with older males and also women that been around with people who have sex. And I can call just males, but people who have sex with multiple partners. Sicknesses pop up and we don't talk about it. We lose a lot of lives by lying. And doctors, they know. I studied that as well. Doctors know that.
I think that's more y'all generation that don't understand that, having sex with multiple people, y'all transfer energy. Like us in our 40s, we know that. we know that every time we have sex with somebody, we transfer, a whole lot.
A lot.
Because we come from a generation where our parents and we still had our grandparents who were, connected to the roots of religion and kind of that hoodoo mastery, you know what I'm saying? Especially if your grandparents or great grandparents were from the South, they would tell you a lot of times, like, you can't let everybody in your house. And when they leave, you need to burn some sage or something. Or you know what I'm saying? You don't drink after people. And it be shit as simple as that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all be sharing cups and shit. Like, you can't get your lips on. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but I'm saying people in y'all generation, like,
I never share a cup. I don't know where your lips
I be seeing all that.
No. But I think I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is we're not connecting it to death. Sex connects to death, and this is the truth. My father was like 50. I don't know if that Gen X or something. A lot of people in that generation, they just died mysteriously. They died early and mysteriously. Those who didn't keep it together. And I just want to make sure that I tell the truth to my generation and to people that are still alive. That way they can have a chance. Because God forbid you get sick for the last half of your life because you enjoyed the first half of your life.
No, I definitely feel what you're saying big time. And I honestly feel like that's a part of taking that education out of the school system. Like, there's a lack of education of that going on right now.
A whole lot.
But
I also
your
want to
generation is
attribute that to a lot of that generation didn't believe, especially men. I'm going to say men in particular. I'm not even going to say especially men. Men in particular don't believe in the doctor.
Absolutely not.
There's a lot of men from that generation that take their ass to the doctor when they're damn near on death.
They're dead.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even then, they'll come home and say, "Oh no, I'm good," and they don't even tell you that they got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer or some shit. They keep taking their ass to work, so it seems like they died mysteriously. But a lot of those men, that toxic. That's what we talk about when y'all say toxic masculinity. That's
a big part of it.
Yeah, like
I can offer that.
You know you're gonna die. You know
why though, Chris?
You never took your ass
to the doctor and gets good news. That's
right. If you go regularly, if you go once every 10 years, of course you're not gonna get the good news. Your ass ain't been there for them to let you know what you need to fix. You've been eating Burger King for 10 years straight. You know what I'm saying? And then you go into the doctor like, give me some good news. Hell no.
Hell no.
What I'm
about it.
Right. Amen.
What I'm saying is there are things you can do to prevent yourself from getting sick. I studied into being a natural doctor. I studied into being a natural doctor, and I learned a lot of things that you can do to keep yourself getting sick. One thing is to rid yourself of parasites. The easiest way for parasites to transmit is through sex. Parasites, they are responsible for 99% of sicknesses. When you go to the hospital and the doctors, they give you a temporary cure, but they don't tell you how to prevent it from coming to you. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Word. Hey, real quick.
If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. You don't have to get sick.
I got to jump back to something real quick because it was put out there. We want to make sure we put out facts here on this show. As far as prostate cancer, the exact cause of prostate cancer is often not known, but several factors can increase a man's risk. These include age, family history, obesity, and certain genetic mutations. While research continues to investigate the root causes, understanding these risk factors can help men take steps to potentially reduce their chances in developing prostate cancer. So, I only brought that up because definitely it plays a part in my family history. It's a genetic thing that gets passed down from men to men to men. And so I never really heard of it being from sex per se, but I guess it's still out to see as far as, but it's not necessarily put out as far as like that's the cause of prostate cancer.
Well, third, if they tell you they don't know, and somebody tells you this is a part of it, you can't say that that's not a root cause.
No, as I say, it said still.
Your definition says they don't know.
I literally just said still to be determined.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But, that definition says they don't know where it comes from. But this is something.
What did you say, DJ?
She just probably food until they don't know
that we eat.
Could be.
Shout out to my
saying,
pops.
I'm not saying genetics don't play a part in it. Yes, it probably does play a part in it. Different genetics are susceptible to different diseases than others. For example, COVID affected, I guess, a lot of Caucasians, whereas the other races didn't get it as much. Africans didn't really get COVID at all, whereas Asians got COVID. So yes, certain diseases do affect different genetics. And that's what I'm saying. For our genetics, certain stuff we cannot do. You cannot just do certain stuff, like drink a whole bunch of alcohol as a Black person. You'll drop dead early.
That's why Third got COVID. It was
that's not true. Third can drink some alcohol.
Shout out to my pops.
Drink.
My pop says, I love my health care and maintaining good health. I'm better mentally, physically now than I have ever been. Shout out to the queen. Cervical cancer, HPV are definitely a few cancers that come from untreated, unknown STDs, which is very true. Now that is a cancer that is obtainable through sex.
So we just fact checked it right here. It said, however, in the age-adjusted data, white people have lower death rates than Asian, Black, and Hispanic people with COVID.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't say
you guys take care of your health though. But you guys do take care of your health. You guys drink more water. Growing up, your parents make you drink water.
Wait, you're assuming that Rob is white. He's actually Asian.
Yeah, he's Asian. But I'm just saying, like, even more than Black Americans particularly, we do not drink enough water. We do not grow up drinking a amount of water that white and Asian people do.
I'm just.
When we get sick, we drink soda. I'm just saying. But adoration, you grew up in
Black
Asia.
here got some water. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, time out.
I'm saying,
we're water drinkers over here.
As a school teacher, when I go to teach as a school teacher. That's good. I'm just saying, as a school teacher, I see what the parents pack for their children to drink. And no knock on any Black parents, but water is not as much, it's not given as much to the, not Black children, but the African-American children versus the Caucasian or Asian children. And culture's culture, so I'm not like saying, oh, you should give your kids more water, but it does play a part.
Well, you should, if that's your message, you should be saying, give your kids more water, because I say it. Shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My kids drink water over here. Like, give your kids more water. They shouldn't be drinking juice and soda all day. I don't even buy
You can tell when kids need more water by the smell of their pee and the color of it.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't buy soda. Like,
adults too.
I never gotta sneak sodas. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't buy soda.
Yeah,
I don't drink soda.
I don't buy soda. I don't buy juice.
But my kids, well, I mean, they get juice. They get like apple juice. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy like apple juice and occasionally,
apple juice, orange juice, lemonade. I don't give a fuck.
Sweet tea and lemonade. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't drink soda like that though. So
my kids predominantly drink water. Like water is all we got.
Drink water.
We got
our parents think of it.
But I drink water too. That's included in my. It's not just this is all I drink. I drink water too. I got a whole thing of water. I like cold water.
Yes.
Super cold.
Yes. Super
cold. Says liquor is killing us slow. Put the bottle down if you can, but at minimum, don't drink closer than 3 hours to going to bed, because then your organs are detoxifying rather than healing when you sleep.
Wow.
Hey, Pops, got that knowledge then. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, sir.
And he is a professional athlete too, so you know what I'm saying.
That's what I said. Hey, when he gave it, I knew it came from a good place.
Wait, did it say not to drink like 3 hours before you go to sleep?
That's exactly what it said, Rob.
Oh no, I could have sworn it was okay to drink a glass of water before you go to bed.
No,
he said alcohol.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, never mind.
He said liquor. He said liquor.
I was like, dude, I've been doing it wrong for so many years.
Right, you know? So there's a few clips I wanted to play to see if this is toxic masculinity or how will we handle this. But I wanted to talk about the Shannon Sharpe stuff because there's a new thing that came out. But then here goes this thing about is this toxic or is this healthy?
Go over there, man. Excuse me? Hey, sit your ass down, boy. Don't come walking up on me. Fuck wrong with you? Bro, let go of me, dude. Let go of me, dude. Bro, let go of me. Come and get this nigga. Bro, let go of me. Don't you ever walk up on me like you did.
That was a clip that's been going
That's
viral.
just life.
I saw that. He deserved it. I saw that already. I agree with
DJ, your mic is muted. Here's the thing. All right. So the little dude walked up on this grown man like he was big and bad. You know what I'm saying? And when the older dude showed him up what's up, then all of a sudden, let me go, man. Let me go. You can't have it both ways, sir. You can't have it both ways.
Listen. That's
Sit your ass down, like that man said. Shit. That's all I got to say.
He wasn't taught to respect his elders. I mean,
sure was.
So
yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, truthfully, we in the time that we're living in now, people don't believe in consequences. You know what I'm saying? And they need to know that there's always consequences to all of your actions. You know what I'm saying? This is not a Twitter chat space. You know what I'm saying? This is not an Instagram comment. You know what I mean? Like when you say this shit in real life, there's consequences that come with these things. So you can't just do all this trolling and all this little hyperbolic bullshit. And some people are not going for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And definitely old black men really ain't fucking with you like that. You come with that funny shit if you want to. You see that old man say, hey, sit your little ass, somebody come get this nigga. Because he was really finna kill that little boy. You know what I'm saying? Like he meant that shit from his soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, don't you ever run up on me. Like, he got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Man,
the wrong one.
Ran up on that old man back in the head back in 1967. It ain't gonna never happen again. That's how he was feeling.
Well, BJ, what are your thoughts on that clip that you've seen? Is that masculinity toxic or?
Nah, honestly,
we can't hear you, man. I don't know if it's your mic muted or something.
Is that better?
BJ just keep talking and can't nobody hear him. Nope.
We can't hear you.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, Chris. Like, honest to God, man. In middle school, I was just like that kid, and I got into it with the former principal, right? And we were fighting over the phone because he was gonna call my parents.
Oh!
And I took the phone and I punched him with it, and and I lied. And I said he swung at me, blah, blah. Anyways, next year, new principal came in. And his name is Earl Faison, former defensive end for the Chargers. Ooh. Big old brother, man. Like silverback gorilla. He came up to me. He knew who I was, right? And he was like, hey, what's
Can't
up?
call black people gorillas, bro.
Was it 100 of them?
Yeah, he told me he asked me if I was gonna play football in high school, and I said, yeah. He's like, you think he bad? He got the 3-point stance with me. One arm bullied me for 3 minutes. Bro,
period.
Like, just tossing me on the ground like, it was pretty much you think you bad, you ain't shit type of stuff, and respectfully, he said, hey, I heard about what happened. That ain't gonna happen on my watch. I think you're a better man than that. And, he was on some prove me stuff. And that guy taught me to respect, like, honestly. So I think what happened to that kid was dead on. Like, that needed to happen. I mean, so I
we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Praise the Lord.
The video did work for me.
Huh?
The video didn't work for me.
You didn't get to see the video.
Replay.
Excuse me? Hey, sit your ass down, boy. Don't come walking up on me. Fuck wrong with you? Bro, let go of me, dude. Let go of me, dude. Bro, let go of me. Come and get this nigga. Bro, let go of me. Don't you ever walk up on me like you did.
Respect.
Real quick though, my pops interjected, putting our personal business. I used to be like that. Sorry, third, but that is flawed. No, sir, it's not. Okay, because here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I tested this dude a few times. You know what I'm saying? And he had to show me who the quote unquote man was. He's like, look, I'm taking it easy on you, but just know that if I wanted to press the button, I can end your life. And and again, that was some humility. The only thing that made it flawed was because I was just like Rob. I felt like, hey, if I could take a punch from this dude, he's a Marine and a professional boxer, I can take a hit from anybody. Can't nobody do shit. So hey, when the teacher was talking wolf to me, I was thinking I could fight this teacher, just like that kid. But unlike that kid, I would have got a couple of kids in before I got my ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wimping up. You know what I'm saying? The teacher would have got knocked. I would have knocked out his tooth.
The fear of the Lord. I truly do believe in the fear of the Lord being installed in your children, because I see
you have to have a healthy fear of your parents.
It wasn't there. They didn't have the fear of the Lord.
Like I said, still to this day, I'm afraid of my mom, and I tower over my mom. But she hit like a damn dude. Now I'm not messing with that woman. But go ahead, DJ.
It's fear and respect. You know what I'm saying?
Respect. Fear, respect. I don't even know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that out there, Mom. You sweet lady, but dang, you know what I mean? Like she got arms like
all I know is that kid didn't get enough whoopings whenever he was a kid.
Yeah. Definitely not.
I agree. Sorry.
Well, if you have sons and you a man, this day is coming to you. It may not come in no, for real, like it may not come in the same facet, you know what I'm saying, a type scenario, but there's always going to be a moment where the student tries to outshine the master. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have one son, like I said, that's 19 in college. Then I got another son who's 16 right now in high school. The difference between the two in their interactions with me, like the 19-year-old thinks he has a chance, and the 16-year-old knows there's no way in hell I'm messing with that man. You know what I'm saying? But they've all come to a head for some reason, and it's just gonna happen. It's testosterone. You know what I mean? When too many men are in the same environment for too long, they like to try to exert dominance. You know what I'm saying? And I got the great equalizer anyway, so I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not playing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you think you can whoop me, you're gonna have to explain to God why you up there. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that.
Because it's just like what you were talking about earlier, Quez. It comes to a time and point where for some boys, I'm echoing. Hold on, let me mute some. Whoa. Mic check. Okay, we're good. So yeah, it comes to a time and point where, like you said, we start to smell our own nuts. You know what I'm saying? We're walking around as if, like, hey, there's a certain defiance, a certain thing where we're not, a rebellion of sorts, you know what I'm saying? Where we're not listening to the advice of, said pops, you know what I'm saying, telling me not to do X, Y, and Z, or mom's telling you X, Y, and Z, or you're not listening to grandpa. Because if you got some things in your head, whatever it is, you're not really listening to everybody else. You're listening to your homies, or you're going based off your own emotions or whatever it may be, as misguided as it may be. So you're learning different lessons and stuff. So yeah, you think that, hey, you can challenge. You think that maybe you're the baddest person in the world. And then sometimes it takes that man to kind of, you got to kind of,
but it should always rear him just a little bit. Like a lot of kids acting like that nowadays because they ain't getting their ass whooped at home, dude.
I agree.
So I start early. You got to start early. But listen, you also have to let your children know that I'm doing this right now because in reality, on the streets, these people ain't finna play with you like that.
Come on.
Like I'm giving it to you, but I love you. Mm-hmm. You go out here with this type of energy to somebody who don't give a fuck about you, you dead. It's that simple. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? True. Like, it ain't even no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You don't know who got knives. You don't know who got guns. You can't do it with the police because they got all rights to shoot you in your fucking face. Mm-hmm. Like you can't go outside and play like this because you feel away.
Yes,
you need to learn to control your emotions. And if you can't control them right here in my presence and I'm your fucking parent, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You don't stand a chance out there.
No.
I'm not going to kill you. I might take you close to it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, send you to the upper room unless absolutely necessary. But then people don't care shit about you out there. And any signs of aggression, you know what I mean? They don't know what you want. They might be scared to fight you. You think you finna go fight. and this person is scared and they shoot you 17 times. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. These kids need to understand, once again, there's real consequences in the world. This is not the PlayStation lobby. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Fortnite and all that shit. You get shot out there, you dead for real. Ain't no health packs, ain't no shield cells, none of that shit. You dead. You're out of here.
Am I tripping, or is it like nowadays people are more trigger happy?
Absolutely.
Because we have a whole lot more.
They can't fight.
Like I said, there's people out here who are not who either don't know how to fight, they're just weenies. You know what I'm saying? So instead of just going head up, they got to go grab a gun or a knife or some type of weapon because they can't go head up. They can't stand the fact of actually losing. You know what I'm saying? Like the thought of losing, maybe.
I mean, going back to what Quest was saying, bro. That's what I meant. Like, they're not getting their ass whooped at home, but respectfully and getting a lesson taught. And why? You know, a lot of kids aren't getting that right now.
Yeah, they
also too, I want to also encourage, like, there is a difference between rearing and and then of course child abuse. I gotta always put that out.
Oh
there.
Absolutely.
It's okay to spank, but it's not okay to sit here and beat. You know what I mean? But you definitely got to spank. I definitely believe so. Because like Quest brought up a valid point, and I wish my pops can hit the link on your talk. We're gonna go a little bit longer, just a little bit. I still got some stuff to go take care of, but I'm not gonna go ahead and AI clip it. But yeah, what Quest brought up is a valid point because there's people out here who are definitely not playing. You know what I'm saying? Not playing. And again, we can go in with that sheltered mentality of our mothers giving us this protection and love and all this other stuff and painting this beautiful world in our head. But when we step outside into the real world, there's a different reality that we face, not only as Black boys, but as Black men. And there's certain things that we have to encounter as Black boys and Black men that I don't know if we're necessarily really mentally ready for. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Quest has brought up a valid point.
Yeah. And I would like to say to that too, because someone was asking me about the behavior. I said, listen, in America, the most behaved group of people are the non-Caucasian people. Those are the ones, I mean, the Asian kids, the Black kids, the Latino kids, we got the gangbangers and that. But when it comes down to it, like, obviously, like dealing with somebody who deals with kids a lot. I even worked at a hotel. Like the night and day difference between this team, like a football team coming and the soccer team coming, it's night and day because the reality that our kids have to face and that are raised with, the reality they have to grow up, like we have to prepare them for a completely different reality. We have to prepare them for a reality that they're immediately going to jail. They're immediately getting shot. They're immediately the ones on the stand every single time, no matter what. So, I always say that, you know what I mean? That's just the reality that we have. Like Quest said, you really got to prepare your kids for the reality of the country that they're living in. In America, it just so happens that, you know what I mean? If you are a Black young man and you wear a hoodie, that could be the end of your life just for that alone. So the respect that, you know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody's good, everybody's respectful, because a lot of people, I think Rob brought this up, they sit behind the computer and they get so used to talking so much crap, so used to saying things that not getting punched right away. And I know a lot of creators that come over to Asia, because in Asia they have a society of like saving face and being very like, the demeanor is very demure. So they'll come over here acting all kinds of ways and not getting the immediate consequences because people will just be like, oh my God. But I know two guys right now, they're in jail and they're going to be there for like 30 years for their actions.
Who was that? Johnny Somali?
Somali.
I seen him.
Yep, he's facing 30 years. Just crazy people.
What did he do?
Going over there messing with people.
In America, he would not be alive. That's the thing. He was harassing ladies. He was going into stores, throwing food everywhere. I mean, he just kind of just did everything. He just went crazy. Because in Asia, there's certain things you will get away with step by step, especially if you're a foreigner, because people are they're not confrontational like Americans are. So you could say something, you could do something and kind of get away with it. But yeah, like basically in Korea, they were like, we're going to put a hit out on this guy. And they
like Johnny Somali was on some of that that weird content creator shit, like pranking people in the mall type shit, and you know what I'm saying, like shit that like I never understood that. Like, why are you going? Oh, you want to run the fade? Do you need a fade? And then you pull out some clippers and shit, like that type of weird shit. Like, bro, you can't just run around doing that. And then, oh no, it's a prank. It's a prank. It's from my YouTube. Like, even in America, the shit not cool. But to go to another country, you could do that.
Yeah, I think he's Somalian. Right. Yeah, no. Like,
but only in America do we entertain that type of shit to where these people even have a platform to be relevant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody watching the shit, not me, but somebody's watching it.
The kids.
And running up the views and thinking that shit is cool.
Right.
And once again, till you get punched in your fucking mouth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The thing is,
you realize that there are consequences.
Hey, did Tyrone get shot?
Huh?
Did Tyrone get shot for pulling his stunt?
I think he did.
Yeah,
Tyrone,
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. The big buff dude, he would go up to people. I'm Tyrone, and he I think he got
exactly.
He either got shanked or he got shot. One of the two.
All deserving. You know what I'm saying?
Pop says we need to teach them not to be dismissive of things they do not agree with. It only limits their perspective and judgment.
Ooh, absolutely. I love that. My God.
When did you become a philosopher?
I know, like, excuse me.
Since you was a young tadpole, Third, he been giving you this game the whole time. You just hard headed, but you can give it to us.
No,
we listening. We know Third didn't listen, but we listening.
No,
Give us the game. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate it.
He was a little different dude. He was like, "Hey man, on the streets."
Just because he punched you in your chest when he said it, it was still the same message. You know what I'm saying?
He gave me street etiquette and he gave me, other etiquette. This is how you survive.
You in your throat and said, "Listen, young Padawan." You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm putting him all the way on blast. He's from East St. Louis, so you know what I'm saying. Like, I had the best of both worlds. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like.
Ain't that technically Illinois across the bridge?
Nah, he's Missouri. East side St. Louis, right? Forgive me.
East St. Louis, I mean, I guess it depends on what side of the bridge you on. It's kind of Illinois and the across
Missouri.
the water. It's a bridge over there. So I'm not sure. But he'll let you know. After
I got the best of both worlds. But, so, man, this has been a good talk. A good topic. We got Rob in the car doing, I don't know what he's doing with his wife.
Trying to choke my white girl.
Oh, shit. In the stream. You know what I'm saying? In the stream. We don't want to
in the stream. Come on, we can't say.
Hell no.
I'm going full Shannon right now, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Full Shannon.
I'm going full Shannon. It's crazy.
That's the new term now, man. That's what we doing.
That's
going full Shannon.
Shit right there.
I might have to clip that one up. I'm
going. No.
Hey, Bob says the goal is supposed to be respectful gentlemen. True.
Come on, you know who's going to be around here, Edward.
Protect your neck, Jess. You know what I'm saying? You make full Shannon.
I ain't playing around. I ain't got time.
That part.
I fit all prototypes or whatever stigmas. Big black man. She looked like a little half black Asian girl.
Wow. Oh, yeah, he's getting shot.
Yeah.
They ain't even gonna ask no questions. They gonna shoot
ain't arresting me. They shoot me on sight. they taking me down on sight.
That's crazy, man. I never ever thought Shannon would get caught up like that, man.
I was
I knew it.
I
knew it. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling people. Even for you, Rob, white women tears.
He had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband. And I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so, it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me? So that's what it stemmed from. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It just doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway.
Can you tell us just broadly, I know it's probably painful to relive this situation, but can you tell us generally what happened that day?
It was fighting, and usually we fought on the phone and not in person. So it was it was the biggest argument that we ever got in. And he was controlling, he was domineering, he was manhandling me beforehand, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no. I told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth. And after he got enough of that, he put me on the bed. And, this was all a struggle.
I'm going to ask something that might be a little sensitive or might sound insensitive, I should say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it because it's a question that I'm sure people are wondering. Why didn't you file a police report when he raped you?
Because I was scared for my life. He said he would use it. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers. So I didn't know that if I went down there, that would be one of the people that he knows.
That's cool. Did this happen like 30 years ago?
I think she full of
2010.
Hey, boy, when they put up that bat signal that the bag is in the air, this is when you get shit like this.
Yeah. I'm not buying that
The fact that you can't remember if you left your husband or not already made me not believe your story. I'm not sure if I left my husband or not. I think that would be something you would remember, to go be with a big black gorilla that assaulted you.
And let's be honest, dude. We're talking
Yeah,
about...
we doing it. We here, third. Fuck it.
We're not talking about...
And I'm all for
women
being protected. But when you see stuff like this, like that lady was formulating that lie as she was giving it to me. That's what I saw. I seen her formulating the lie as she was coming up with it. She used a lot of just keywords and descriptors with no real context. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it. I'm just being honest.
She filed in 2010, and then she filed again in 2020.
She never filed. She just admitted that she never filed.
No. She said, "Why didn't you go file a police report?" I'm talking about a lawsuit.
She didn't file a lawsuit either.
It's in the record of the quest. You gotta look it up.
Is this the same girl?
That's the Michelle.
This is the Michelle?
No, that's not his mom, Michelle. I mean, maybe he was talking about Michelle when he was going there, but no, this lady is Michelle.
No, is that the lady? Did she?
And she tried
I
to.
thought she said she didn't file or put a police report or nothing.
That's exactly what she said.
Yeah, she said exactly that.
Right after it happened, why didn't you? Because the thing is, people.
Why didn't you run to the police?
You get raped and then you get up from that situation, run outside and go file police report. Most people don't do that. They don't.
You're not saying that, but
they run
2010 to 2025, is that what we're talking about?
Say what?
But the thing is, I think the reason why it's coming up again now is because now it's acceptable to talk about celebrities. Before, if you bring up a celebrity, you're dealt with immediately. Diddy is locked up, but Diddy used to be in the streets.
What was it?
We watched R. Kelly. We watched 75 women come against Bill Cosby. He was a celebrity.
Finally, but the thing is, I've been knowing about R. Kelly, what R. Kelly was doing since I was a little girl, and R. Kelly was just.
But what I'm saying is we can't use that as the measuring tool. You know what I'm saying? But we got to go based off the information we are given. I do not believe that woman 15 years ago had something happen to her by Shannon Sharpe, who was not even important 15 years ago. Celebrity my ass. He played for the Denver Broncos. Nobody knew this nigga. He looked like the darker version of the logo. We didn't know who the fuck he was. So for you to try to use that to say that's why you nobody cared about Shannon Sharpe in 2010.
But she's literally saying because she was afraid. I mean,
white women teams are undefeated. White women win even when they're not right.
On record, she did file.
I agree with the question.
And even before the Shannon Sharpe case came out, that's present now, she had already refiled before this whole thing. So this is not a police report. Remember, the lady's asking her because I had to look. I looked into this stuff before. That's why when I came on the first time we talked about Shannon, I had done my research and like that's why I was so like take him to jail. I mean, I'm not saying that.
If she filed a lawsuit with no police report, I'm sure they're just blowing it off.
Right. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
There's no record.
I just
I
don't.
could say adoration raped me in 2002 when I was a senior in high school. You know what I'm saying? And you probably was 10. You know what I'm saying? But I said it. So what does that mean?
Yeah. That
I didn't file no police report.
Right now.
There's nobody to corroborate the story. Is he say?
I mean, you gotta read into the lawsuit though, Quest.
But it's he say, she say in court.
No. You gotta read into the lawsuit.
And I'm telling you how the court system works.
Yeah, there's no rape kit.
You don't have a police report, and you don't have any corroborating evidence besides your word of testimony against his word to say he didn't do it in 2010, and it's 2025. She's never going to win that case unless she attaches it to the case that he's already in, which makes way more sense because now there's a pattern for it. And you can say, yes, this happened to me in 2010, and I can file a civil lawsuit, but I can't file a real legal suit to where I can get any penalties against him, but I can get some money so he can shut me the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like.
But she didn't even get no money from him before.
Go ahead, Jess.
But I'm saying that why it makes sense now because she has a pre-existing case that she can attach herself to. Like, see, I said it, and here it goes. Now I need some money because she can't get him arrested or nothing. She don't have shit.
Yeah.
She can get a check though.
I just want to see a picture of her 15 years ago.
Thank you. I was thinking the same thing. Thank you.
A lot of people are saying that.
I was like, yo,
a lot of people are saying that. It's crazy.
She look busted, yo.
People are really going in on this girl. Like, really? You know,
y'all need to chill.
That's not me. I'm just saying people are really,
I feel bad it's made in hell for a lot of people nowadays. So it's not worth. It's not worth giving too many. I say the internet is setting people up. The internet is setting people up.
Yeah.
Special benefit from hell. But I think that the reason why she's talking about it now is because, like I said, now it's the time, it's the era, it's the trend to tell on celebrities and people, and there are lawyers that are willing to take the extra mile to fight these cases. Before it wasn't like that.
But here's the double-edged sword, though, Shasha, is that now you have a lawyer like Tony Busby who literally tried to go after Jay-Z and Diddy and some other folks to try to kind of extort money out of them. Where now Jay-Z has turned around and filed a defamation lawsuit against this lawyer. So let's not sit up here and act like one can be true and then one can be true as well.
Because y'all was killing Jay-Z in the comments. I ain't gonna lie, y'all was killing Jay-Z in the comments.
Shannon Sharpe.
And that's okay. And what I'm saying is that's okay. They're all evil. Trust me. The stuff the celebrities do to get where they're at, you would never even fathom what they do.
But
you would never even like whatever you can imagine they do for power, what they do for money. Like Jay-Z, if you guys don't know, Jay-Z's a human trafficker.
But
that's what he does. Whether you like it or not, that's what he does for a living.
But time out. That's like saying prostitutes deserve to get raped.
I didn't say they deserve to get raped, but people do deserve justice. If it was you and your daughter, you would want justice.
We don't know what prostitutes do to get money and to be where they at. So they deserve to get raped, right?
Wait, so I got one question. So have you ever been in a room with Jay-Z where you seen him trafficking?
No, that's allegedly. We're not doing that. We're not even going down.
No, I'm asking, has she seen it personally?
I don't want our page to get canceled.
True.
True. You know what I'm saying? Stop it, sir.
See what he did.
Trying to save us here. You know what I'm saying?
What's better is this: you go to court. You go to court to prove whatever. Jay-Z proves that
he should be innocent until you're proven guilty. That's how that works.
Innocent, and the tape came out and smacked him in the face. And
the tape came out and showed that Tony Busby went and grabbed somebody out of the handicap class and filed a lawsuit saying that Jay-Z raped a special needs student. That shit didn't look good.
The father couldn't even corroborate the story. Like, I don't remember that. You know what I'm saying? So
it was horrible.
It was mad horrible.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta be relaxed and look at things objectively, not just because we think they're celebrities and they deserve to be punished.
I think
We have to look at it as these are still human beings, and until all the facts come out, they should be innocent until proven guilty.
And I'm gonna say this as an entertainer here in California, here in Hollywood. Rob can say this. Wait. I gotta say this.
Friday for him.
I gotta say this. So as an entertainer, your Rob can attest to this. You know what I'm saying? I've been around plenty of celebrities where I never seen no weird ish like that. You know what I'm saying? So we can't put that stigma out on everybody and say entertainers or celebrities are evil, because I don't know that to be true. From what I've seen, it's definitely not true from the few that I know and from the relatives that I got and I know. It's not true.
Right.
But
I never
with that, honest. Right. I'm saying that we worked in the industry. Rob's right on my side to see this. So with that being said, hopefully we got the show next week. I pray to God we don't get no defamation lawsuits from Jay-Z Jigga, you know what I'm saying? Because damn.
No, we're gonna have a show. Everything is alleged. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's alleged because I don't know.
We have a show next week.
I hope there's a show next week. This motherfucker might tag my whole page. I own drop the fuck out of here now.
Sasha, y'all come back next week, man. We love having new guests.
Saturdays.
Y'all can cut my part out.
Saturdays. We do Friday nights, but y'all come through, man.
We did an after party because Adoration had that blue pill in her water bottle, and she was in La La Land thinking that LeBron James was better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it went off for 2 hours. Where her and
we spent 2 hours.
She wasn't just drinking water, bro.
No, it was a blue pill in that water. You know what I'm saying? That made her delusional with her and skid mark face.
Bitter people.
Her and skid mark, you know.
Now we bigger.
You know, I love the fact that she'll go toe to toe, bro.
Reality. You have
no, Skid Mark was out here talking trash. You know what I'm saying? Look like a whole fly. He dropped a whole pile of shit on his face, and you over here talking trash.
Hey, man,
you
come on, man. All right, it's been a great night. End the show. We love you guys. Let's turn this off. You know what I'm saying?
It's been real, Sasha, BJ, Rob. You come through. You guys are contributors. Yeah. We'll be here next Friday. It's a Mother Day's edition where we're going to talk about Black maternal health. We're going to talk about Tracy Ellis Ross, how she feels about being an older woman and not settling down, having kids, and having a significant other. You know, the mental capacity that goes on behind that. And we're just going to celebrate, you know, good moms. You know, whether, you know, you have biological children or not. You know, if you raise somebody's child up, you deserve to get your flowers. So, you know, it's going to be a love for women. We love you. Thank you for watching. The rebroadcasters, make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe. Make sure you reshare it. And then we'll catch you next Friday, y'all. It's been real. Peace.